Hello, welcome to day number 3, December 3rd, December 2020. Blah, 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 lot of D's in there. Uh, I don't know why I said it like that, but it is what it is. All right, actually, I got something for you on that one.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
100%. Okay. Um, so, a lot of interesting things been going on. Even if you haven't noticed yet, I'll kind of clue you guys in. But in the meantime, as you're coming into the room and everything, I'm going to grab some water here, not make you watch me do that. And then if you want to tune in, tell me where, excuse me, tune in. You're already tuned in. Derp. If you want to tell me where you're tuning in from, city, state, country, or city, country, or city, state, wherever the hell you're tuning in from, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to give you a shout out, say hello. Hope you all are doing well. And here's a motivational message while I drink some water.
Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Okay, and there's that. Isn't that great? I have like little fillers that I can use so that you laugh a little bit, I laugh a little bit, I drink some water, and I keep going. All right? Like the Energizer Bunny, baby. That's how we do it. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Who's that from Wisconsin? Um, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let me. Oh, Tim. Hey, Tim. Good to see you, bud. All right. There were a few of you who did not do the ABC thing for roll call yesterday. I know we had some confusion on. We tried to do the sharing, but a lot of you have private sharing settings, and so that's just not going to work. Appreciate you sharing the video, the stream, though. But since that didn't work, we actually shifted over to ABC 123 from yesterday's stream, right? So there's like, I don't know, there's like one, two. Actually, Tim, you're one of them. Trond, Tim, Karen Novak, Rob Cornick, and Chris Raposo. Yesterday, I didn't see either comments. I just went off of if you commented at all. Um, didn't see you in the streams. It's not like I have a list of who's actually in the stream at all times, which kind of sucks, to be honest. But I didn't see anything in the comments from yesterday for you five. Um, However, I will make an exception for that because we had some snafus, right? So if you are here today, which Tim, you are now here today, um, what I'm going to do, let me show you my screen so you can see kind of what I'm working on here. Uh, Basically, I've marked it red if someone's not here, but I'm going to, since Tim, I just saw Tim commented, I'm going to mark him as here. Going to mark him as here and do that for both days because I don't know whether he was or not. Can't prove it either way. However, he did show up today, so we'll just kind of play it by ear like that. There's only 5 people, so it's not like it affected everybody. Most everybody else was on point. Um, you were there and you commented. Okay, maybe I missed your comment, Tim, but like I said, we're making the exception um, because of my tracking the way it was, right? And we were limited on time already. We went an hour and a half yesterday. So anyway, if your name is Tron, Karen, Robert, Chris, you probably want to, and you're on this list right here in the red, you probably want to show me where you commented or shared or something yesterday so that I know that you were on the stream, or comment today on the stream so that I know during attendance that you were in attendance and can mark you as attended for yesterday and take you out of the red. Otherwise, you folks would be the first to be disqualified for the December Dash Show Up Grow Up Award specifically. Okay. But Wyoming, way out there, out here with me, kind of. Maidstone, UK. Quessy in the UK. Is that Quessy as in, is that the name of the city, or is that Quessy that's the person located in the UK? Because I know a Quessy, and that's a unique name. of sorts. I wonder who that is. Anyway, Andy, you're the one out in Maidstone. Got it. Strange that I did not see your email address that you posted yesterday. From the first day, yeah, I don't know how I missed that, but anyway, I'll deal with that later. That's not as important. I can actually probably look up most of you, if not all of you, inside of the back office and ring ads anyway. So I'm not as concerned about that. That just helps, you know what I'm saying, for when the time comes. But really, it's going to come down to whoever goes all the way through this whole thing right here for the Show Up Grow Up. So it's not a huge deal, right? Not a huge deal in terms of um, what needs to be done and all that stuff. Let me scoot over here so I got my questions out of the way there. William, my ring ads email is, and I will, because I don't have a username attached to that, have to figure that out later. I'm assuming it's somebody that I don't have listed yet. Oh, you know what, Julian? I think I did put your email in. For some reason it didn't take, because I remember that email very specifically. It's all good. I got you guys covered. Let me just do that real quick. And then who was the other one? Who's the other fellow? I don't see that yet. I'll again, if I miss it, it's not like a huge deal. I seem to be missing. Who's that coming from? Really can't see a lot of names here. So yeah, we'll just deal with it as we go. Okay. Not a huge deal. What is a huge deal though is, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've had some activity here recently, yesterday and today. I mean, I'd like to cover that, talk to you guys a little bit about the mindset that we're gonna continue on with that course, the talks that we're gonna have about that, and why it's so important, and the difference it actually makes, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, the bottom line. But before we do that, we have someone whom you heard from yesterday, and they pulled in a client. First person to pull in a client, Art Tapman, right? And he's pulled in two more. He's got 3 clients in, folks, and that's not magic. Looks like it. Looks like magic. Everybody's like, I want me some of that, and you're gonna get it if you put in the work. Doesn't take a ton of work either, right? It's just focused effort, hyper focused effort. That's all it is. And I was looking for, what was it? Oh, to see if he submitted that 3rd phone call. Looks like he might have just done that. I was waiting on it. Yep. Okay. And I still have to verify all those, but they are submitted. So that means for the points, this was why I was doing this. So for the points, we're going to go over here, and the same revenue was collected. So we're going to change that to $900. So revenue collected already, and points collected for Art is $900 revenue and 300 points. Remember, we're basing everything off of this color coding. Looks like he's well on his way to get there first. I've seen people come out of the woodwork, 5 clients in a day. So he's not safe, right? And I'll tell you right now, if Art happens to be 1 or 2 or 3 people or 5 people or something that put results up on the board for the first half of the month, it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit unless they keep the pedal to the metal, straight up. And the reason I say that, and I'll do my best to look at the camera again like I did yesterday, because that seemed to work pretty well. The reason I say that is because it's not like Art's not doing well. He's doing very well. But if he lets his foot off that gas pedal for just a split second, somebody can creep up on him, right? And I know he doesn't want that. And yes, it is a competition. Competitions that are based on you versus everybody else tend to make you look left and make you look right, which I'm on camera, so make you look left and make you look right. There you go, mirrored for you folks. That's not, this business is best run as a personal performance or personal record. It's one of the things I always liked, for example, about CrossFit. Obviously, there's some challenges with the CEO of CrossFit. I get it, but in terms of the workout program of CrossFit, okay, that's what I'm talking about. One of the things I always liked is that you used the people that you were working out with as support, not as look left, look right, and see what they're doing. You do what you can do, and you max out, right? You put up your personal records. What's your PR? They even had uh, jargon and short code for it, acronyms for it, and that's great uh, because you for that kind of model, because now you're not having to always feel all this pressure or feel like you have to be look a certain way or feel a certain way or be a certain way or do a certain amount. You just go in there and you do what you do as much as you can, as fast as you can. That's it. That's the and leave it all on the mat. That's the deal. And it's kind of the same way with this. It's the same. What works the best is the same model. Yes, at the end of the day, some of these awards you are competing for who did the best against each other. But if you notice, there's a lot of individual achievement awards. Again, one of the reasons why I wanted to do individual achievement awards. Um, there's the reward in of itself of building the agency. There's a lot of different things like the Show Up Grow Up Award. There's things that are in place in order to reward you for doing the things you should be doing, period, in this business model. And most of it is actually centered around not the big prizes. Those are great and everything. But if you just focus on you and what you're doing and what you've got for the day, just like I told Art yesterday, right? Forget about the watch your language. Forget about the word hope. Instead, replace it with faith, replace it with focus. And in other words, what's your focus for that day? So today, what's your focus? What's your absolute focus? Forget about looking left and going, oh man, Art's got 3 clients already, right? Art's got 3 clients already. If anything, the message should be, way to go, great job, right? But even then, we shouldn't like take time to celebrate for sure, and everybody else's wins. Absolutely, I do it all the time, but I don't use it as an excuse to continue looking left as I'm trying to run and I'm looking left the entire time. I'm going to drift left. I'm going to drift off my path, which is what I know is going to be, if you have if you have the right mindset, you got the faith that the path I put you on is the right path, the path that you have built, or the path that you have mapped out based on what I've taught you is the right one, right? No looking left, no looking right, and that's going to make a huge difference in terms of how you produce, what you produce, um, management of your own expectations. Well, Art's got 3 clients. Well, you're not fucking Art, right? Like, I'm not saying Art's a badass. Art is a badass, but I'm saying it has nothing to do with the price of tea in China, because you're you and he's him. He's put in his effort, and paid his dues. You have to put in your effort and pay your dues. And it's different for everybody. Everybody pays a different price of admission. It's not something that's not something I can control. The only thing I can control on my end is to help lower that price. Think of it as like an invoice. Everybody gets a different invoice because some people don't have any management skills. Some people have no sales skills. Some people have never opened an AdWords account. Some people have all those above checked off, right, on the invoice. And so some people's price of admission is going to be higher than others. But my goal, right, what I can control and what I can help you with and work on constantly for you guys in the background and on streams like this, is by lowering the cost of each line item as much as possible. In other words, lowering that learning curve for you, the cost, I say. So the cost of time, the cost of experience, and all that stuff. There's if I make those as small as possible, then no matter how big your ticket is, right, in terms of invoice, right, um, it's still very small, comparatively speaking. You don't know that because you don't know that till you get through and have paid the invoice and have come out the other side with the results, right? Once you've come out the other side with the results, you can actually look back at that invoice and say, "Oh shit, I get it now. That was a lot, and I breezed through that pretty quick because of what William taught me here, 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 and here. Saved me a lot of time, trouble, minimize my bills, right? Minimize my line items on this invoice." But how honestly, and this is crazy, but true. Uh, Honestly, unless it was a huge purchase, right? Huge purchase, or big decision. When's the last time you looked at a receipt after the fucking deal was done, right? After you did the transaction. Hell, there's been several $1,000 transactions where I glanced at the receipt and don't even remember glancing at it. Seriously, that's and I'm not bragging. I'm just saying straight up. We all have those habits, that tendency to not recognize or take a split second, even half a second, to recognize from that invoice. Wow, we've come a long way. We've done this. We've done that. So I'm asking you to not do that and instead do what I'm telling you to do. Look at that invoice when you come out the other side, and you'll see no matter what the price is that you paid, price of admission. And I don't mean price of the software. Software's free. I'm talking metaphorical here, folks, in case some of you were wondering. Okay. Yes, you can pay us money. Yes, we'll take your money. And yes, there are cool things that you can upgrade to. Absolutely. But Ring software is free. These training sessions are free. Ringads.com for more information. Grab the software in case you're watching this and you don't know even who the fuck I am or what I'm doing. Now you do a little bit more. Um, and here's the thing, folks. It's more of a uh, an understanding of like I described to Christina the other day about the rearview mirrors. So like if you think about the rearview mirrors in a car, you don't constantly stare at them because you will crash into something with it because you're not looking in front of you, right? And you don't constantly look at your left rearview mirror or your right rearview mirror if you have one because you will drift where you tend to look. If you look left, you're going to tend to. So again, no looking left, no looking right. You notice that. Can you glance? Can you say, "Hey man, congrats"? Yeah, absolutely. But that's all you do. Hey man, congrats. Good job on 3 clients. Back to my business. Back to what I'm doing. Personal best, personal record. Don't worry about what Art's got going on other than the fact that Art has some cool shit going on and you know you're about to be in the same boat. That's it. There's no comparison. There's no, oh, he's ahead. Oh my God, pressure. From what? For why? No, 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 no. We don't do that here, right? We don't do that to each other. We don't do that to ourselves. We don't do that to ourselves. So hopefully that makes sense in terms of why we're doing what we're doing with that. What do we have? We have some comments here. I attended yesterday, shared the page stream, but I didn't do the ABC. Rob. Okay. I'll just take your word for it, Rob. I mean, you're here today, and I trust you. I'm marking you here now. I'm going to fix that in the thing. I just took care of that for you. Anyway, if you don't want to send your email, that's fine. Again, most of them I can look up. Most of them I can look up, if not all of them. If I have a problem with that, I will approach you, right? We got a long way to go. 28 days, I mean, left, something like that. After today, 28 days. Uh, I don't know if every one of you, I hope every one of you makes it. I don't know if you are. That's the truth. I really don't. As simple as that can be and sounds, showing up every day at 11 a.m. Some of that's there's going to be times for everybody, and it's going to be different for everybody. Some days are going to be the same in terms of when it's difficult, obviously, like holidays or pre-holidays. But there are going to be other days in the month where shit's going to be almost impossible or difficult to work around, and it's a matter of whether you choose to fight that and work with it and make that happen or not. So I don't know if everybody on this list is going to make it through the entire set anyway. But again, I hope. I hope. Uh, I'd like to see that. I would expect to see most of you, if not all of you, make it all the way through. The 19 of you that I have listed. I haven't heard again though. See from Trond, Karen, or Chris yet. Um, but I'll check the comments on today's stream, and also we got the attendance test for today, which we'll do in a minute or so. All right. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was uh, the client today, KPI. Now, a lot of you might be going, well, what is the client today KPI? Client today KPI is actually pretty important. So I'm going to write some of this stuff down. Okay. And you feel free to jot notes down with me as we go. And here's the deal. Gotta stop saying that. Sound like fucking Biden. Sound like a 70-year-old man who's lost his shit but won the presidency. Let me grab some water here. And we'll jump into the one client a day KPI. And there's actually a 2 client a day KPI too that you scale into. But again, let's focus on getting 1 client a day first and maintaining it, right? Getting it is not the same as maintaining it, right? Maintaining is the key here. So 1 client a day. Now, if we do the math here, 52 weeks in a year, and I like to do what I call conservative math. Not all the time, but in times of what I think I can do, I always go on the conservative side, err on the side of caution, right? So 52 weeks, and keep in mind, if you're starting from a place that's um, in the basement or in the hole, and you're building the foundation of the business, right? It may your 52 weeks or whatever that we're about to calculate may actually start when you quit your job, right? And that doesn't mean that you don't keep working today and now or anything. What that means is the metrics make much more sense when you have all the time that you want to be able to put into the business, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, an example: if you work a 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, like Christina, um, you may not have all the time you would like or energy you would like to put into the business every day on a daily basis, but you have enough. What I would call enough. Is it enough to hit a client today average? Probably anywhere between half that to exceeding that. Yes, I have seen people exceed a client today average with that. Um, the thing is when I say a client today average, people think I'm literally mean a client every single day. Now, for the December Dash, that's a good way to look at it. That's a great way. That's a great goal. Just a client today. Put your head down. What are you going to do today to get that client? Whatever you got to do today to get that client. Make sure it's a good fit on the client, but get that client. Get that client, right? Um, and if you need one extra bump for Sunday because you're not making calls on Sunday, then you got to get 2 on Friday, right? 2 on Friday, 2 on Friday, 1 on Saturday, and you're golden, right? That whole thing. That works well for when you're hyper focused on something like the December Dash, by the way. Okay, but I'm talking about long game here, long term, right? 7-figure agency, you can pull those numbers from a 1 client a day KPI, which is key performance indicator for those of you that are kind of lost on that. We use that as a source of measurement, tracking and measurement, right? Analytics, if you will. So 1 client a day, 52 weeks, and let's say you take, because you do need breaks, right? You're not just going to work 52 straight weeks. That's completely unrealistic. Unrealistic. Those of you over in Europe tend to take extended holidays, like even Germany takes like what, 13 weeks? It's about 3 months worth of holidays over there for you folks. And I know they're spread out over the years, but you can also take your own holiday. So I don't know if I want to go 3 months. Americans tend to work longer. I won't say harder. That's more of a South Korean thing, right? If we're talking cultures here, right? Work cultures. No judgments. I'm just saying um, they work themselves to death over there, right? They're that good. I say they're that good. Um, we just tend to not take 3 months, right? Like Europe. We take at the most, like standard jobs, even government jobs here, military, think military, you get 30 days a year max. Now, that's 30 work days a year, which actually translates to like a month and a half plus some holidays, but we don't have a ton of holidays. Like I know you guys over in the UK have a fuckload of holidays. I mean, we have some bank holidays, but I think you guys actually have more. I could be wrong on that, but it seems like maybe it's just how your holidays are structured differently than ours. And it's like every time we're not on a holiday, it seems like you guys are on a fucking holiday. It's crazy. Um, so let's go 52 weeks. Let's dump that down 2 months. Let's meet in the middle. All right. So 2 months, that's 8 weeks. 52 minus 8, that's 46. No, excuse me, 44. Derp. So 44 weeks. Look at me lying on camera. I'm just kidding. 44 weeks. Um, so 44 weeks at one client a day. We got 5 working days during the week, right? Call it, what is that? 44 is 220 clients for the year. Okay. So at a client a day KPI, 44 weeks actual work. Okay. And you can do your own math. If you do take those 3 months or whatever, 13 weeks in Europe, great. Good on you. Not going to judge you. Just calculate like I'm doing on paper. Okay. So one client today KPI, 44 weeks. That's going to be at a 2 month vacation time total for the year from this business model. Okay. From 2 months vacation from this business model, it's going to give you um, 220 clients at the end of the year. Okay, EOI. Now, at the end of the year, keep in mind, end of the year from when you start tracking this. So if you started this month, then December 1st, 2021 would be when you track it, right? What I would do if I was you is use these KPIs, focus on what we're doing for the December dash, but use these KPIs to motivate you from Jan 1 to Jan 1, basically new year to new year. So Jan 1, 2021 to Jan 1, 2022, then you take a look at your stats and reevaluate. Actually, you should be reevaluating every quarter, but to make sure you're on pace or exceeding that pace, and then scale appropriately. And at the end of the year, you evaluate what you need to do better to step that up. You're going to know about your numbers. If you track them well enough, you're going to know about those numbers long before you ever um, come to the end of the year. You'll come into the fourth quarter knowing, okay, this is what I got to do. Here's the numbers I got to hit. So 220 clients, though, here's my point. Every client, every vertical is different in terms of client value, but every client has the potential to be worth thousands of dollars a month in profit, not in revenue, right? We're talking profit. So after you spent what you spent on ads, okay? Um, does it start out that way? No, it does not. So let's do it even at the minimum, which I always say is what? $500 per client. Um, and I'm going to pull out my phone and cheat a little bit now because apparently I can't subtract fucking weeks from 52, 8 weeks from 52. So what we're going to do is 220. Well, it's half, isn't it? It's 110, right? I didn't even have to do that. I'm sorry. Let me put the phone back away. I'm embarrassing my fucking math teachers from back in the day. 110,000, 110K, and that would be per month, right? Because $500 per client, profit per client per month, right, is 220 clients, 110K. Here's the thing, though. Not pretend. Let's go on the assumption that you're going to retain at least 3 out of every 4 clients. You can do that with our client engagement sequence that I'll be updating and releasing to you and all that kind of stuff. Plus a lot of built-in follow-up and automated systems and customer support as you scale the agency are going to help you be able to do a lot of those things. Because without all that I just said, your retention rate is going to be more like 25-30%, which is real shitty, like really shitty. That means for every 4 clients you pick up, or 3 clients you pick up, even you keep them 1, right, at the best, and it could be 1 and 4 if it's really crappy. So yeah, the things I teach you to do and the things I'm going to release to you as we go here are going to help you bump those up to 75, 80, 85, 90 even percent. No problem. So, but at least 3 and 4, right? So if we have 220 clients or 110K and we divide that by 4, so take off 25% of 110,000, that's 25,000 for sure, and then 2,500, so 27,500. So what's 110,000 minus 27,500? That's how my brain works. 27,500. Oh, I am cheating on this one with the calculator, just so you know. 82,500. Okay, so 82,500. Now, what does that number mean? 82,500 per month. Per month. Everybody got that? Right? And these are the minimums. These are the minimums, meaning $500 profit per client per month. What if you're doing 2,000? You don't even need a fraction of the clients I just said. So you understand why I say, and by the way, 82,000 is just a frog hair under a million a year. Like you need 83 and a third, right? So 83,000, you make an 82.5 on the minimums here. That's and taking 2 months of vacation, right? Are you following what I'm saying? It's not like everything I just laid out. I would think everybody would agree with me that it's completely realistic in terms of, yeah, I can do that. It's 2 months worth of vacation. 75. You're not keeping all the clients. You're not going to want to keep all the clients. 75% of the clients though I'm keeping, and at an absolute bare minimum of profit per client per month over the average of that year is going to be $500 per month per client, and that means I'm making 82,000 per month from there on, right? Of course, that number will grow over those 12 months as well. So it's not like you're just totally broke until the 12th month, right? You are making some money, and it does exponentially grow. And the point is, month 12, so this time next year, you're at $1 million a year business if you did the absolute fucking minimums. Now, here's where things get really interesting. That client a day KPI can almost be done for an extended period. It can initially be done by one person, or otherwise we wouldn't start with that. Uh, but as you scale, right? As you scale, it's going to be much harder in terms of bringing more clients in as you try to scale the business without having any staff. That's when you run into challenges of you're not going to be able to maintain, right? Maintain the one client a day KPI. So when you hire your first two staff, here's what happens. You give them this KPI and you give them performance bonuses to get the KPI up to two clients per day, whatever you got to do to get it up to two clients per day average, right? And anytime they hit it, boy, it's a big celebration. It's a big reward. It's a big something or other, right? For them, whatever it is that they're looking for, position one, position two that you hire, conversations that we can have later. But my point is, um, when you've got at least two people on your staff that are dedicated to going after that two client a day, and let's say they never hit it, but they're constantly producing, consistently producing 1.5 a day. That's guys, that's a 50% increase, and you're not the one on the phones anymore, right? Like that's powerful. That's solid. That's 1.5 times what I just mentioned. You're in the solid seven figures now, right? Like, um, and again, at the bare minimums, right? Realistically, hitting seven figures should be like a not a bare minimum, but if you didn't do this in a year, I think you're kind of treating it like a hobby. Like you're not really serious, right? Um, Not saying the people that have a six figure business that you're not serious, more than I am saying if you think that it's not possible, right? If your limiting belief is that it's not possible within a year or less, it just seems to me, and by the numbers being extremely conservative, that either other shit got in the way, or you just don't believe it's possible, and that's what kept you from doing it. Not because you can't do it. You very much can. So that's kind of the point of the client today KPI. Of course, you double that as you scale out with the sales staff, um, and maybe into a new vertical, um, and from there you're looking at some really scary numbers that freak most people out. Numbers they don't even bring up initially because they really just are even trying to wrap their head around the idea of making 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month. And that's cool because you'll have a whole year at those levels and above to kind of get used to it, right? And then when you're able to break free of that mentally, and it's different for everybody. And I also know that it's not just one block and then you're through the money block, right? Money blocks happen in stages, and it's different for everybody, but there are kind of a few main ones that a lot of people hit, not all, but a lot. And usually the first one's going to be uh, if you've never made more than $100,000 a year, the first one's going to be 10 grand a month, period, right? Beyond that, Usually it opens up to like, I'm going to say 90, 100, somewhere in there, 150 for some I've seen, before it really clicks. Oh shit, like it's $1 million a year. Got it. Like solid. Got it. And then beyond that, it's not necessarily 10 figures, but again, there's a range somewhere in that, usually low 10 figures. It's not 10 figures, excuse me, 8 figures, 10 mil. So somewhere in that low 8 figures is where, especially with this agency, is where um, you've got, how do I say this? It, somewhere between 10, 20, 30, that's when things really start to click in terms of not necessarily exit strategy, but much more of a CEO level of the business, and it runs on its own. It grows itself. It's an asset. It's producing assets now. It's producing the cash and cash flow to produce more assets. It's really crazy at that point, which is cool. But my point is this: there's blocks or periods of adjustment, even if you want to look at them that way, for everyone. And some people make it through those, and some people don't. Most don't, not without guidance, not without help. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. Um, what else were we talking about? Sales conversations. We can talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about the sales conversation psychology behind all that tomorrow. There's a lot to that. Really take more than one session to do that. But I felt like the Client Today KPI really would keep you focused on what you're doing, right? Congratulating other people, telling them awesome job, and then focus on what you're doing so that you now know not only what's possible, right, but what's highly likely if you just put in the effort, put in the work. And you're probably wondering like, well, why didn't you lead with this a week or two ago? Like, I wish I would have known that a week or two ago. Well, you know, now. I wouldn't be up here wasting my time, right? If this wasn't even the bare, you see what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't waste your fucking time, nor would I waste mine, teaching you this if this wasn't at least what we could do. You see what I'm saying? Like, um, that's where I'm at. That's where my head's at. I don't look at it as a maybe I can get to 10 clients this month. I mean, if that's all I do for the month, again, it's progress, not perfection. So progress is perfection, right? We had that whole conversation. So progress in my mind, hey, I hit 10 clients, right? But this is what's on my mind right here, right? This is what's driving me. And those are the bare minimums. Keep in mind, that's like, if you want to know what my standards are for me, not the ones I hold you to, mind you, but when I gauge my minimums, that's what I'm looking at right there. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I'm going to grab a Zoom link and address the questions. I see we have a ton of chat in here, and I want to make sure that everybody gets their questions answered. So we'll answer questions in the comments if you want to, not if you feel, if you'd like to ask a question in the comment section with wherever you're tuning in from, I'll be able to see that and I'll answer that directly. I may or may not be able to see who it is that's writing that, um, just based on the fact that we're streaming in so many different places. But I have pasted the link also into the Zoom room that feeds into the live stream. So we can, if you want to come in live, ask your questions, talk about your experiences, your results, you're more than welcome to do that. I encourage it. It helps me point you in the right direction. We've got 20 or so minutes, and if I run over, then I run over. I don't give a damn. As long as we stay close to that hour, I'm okay. I want to make sure you get what you need to keep moving because there are other people that are moving, and that means um, not that you gauge off of what they do for what you do, but you should be moving. Maybe you shouldn't be at 3 clients yet, but you should be moving, right? Everybody should be moving. So want to help you keep moving in the business. Um, let's see here. Wow, bunch of comments. I love it. I love seeing that. I got to scroll up. So Zoom room is empty. I'm looking at the waiting room. Whenever you all are ready, come on in, ask questions, and I'll just field questions now from what I see here chat. Let's see. Let's see. Hey Art, how are you getting your calls from Dollar Central? Answering a Skype number, I guess, is what he's saying. Really, all the incoming calls, the customers cannot hear me. I've been through 3 other so VoIP phones all at the same time. So the customers can hear you okay on the Skype number. Yeah, Skype's no issue. Direct transfer. I see you, Andy. I'm letting you in now. Just hang tight while I answer these questions. Let's see. Headset, yep. Prefer to answer via the PC. Program that records all the Skype calls, yeah. Yeah, the MP3 Skype recorder is the one that I always used. It works really well. Stores it automatically in a folder and everything. It's pretty cool. Pretty slick. Okay, Art, I've been trying to do the same. I even got a MS Teams headset, and I also answer via my headset on a laptop. The call quality is so bad it's unreal. Yeah, I would say someone else is saying they use Pamela to record calls. Works well, but UK is a bit rubbish for call quality. Best of times. Yeah, it sounds like maybe a internet connection or something. I'm not sure. Let's see. I think I need a USA SIM card. But to receive calls in the UK from the US, damn, the cost is going to be insane. No, you don't need a USA SIM card. You don't need a SIM card. You can transfer direct using Twilio, right? Or 800 link. If you set up with 800 link, it's a US number. You can forward that to a Skype number, and a Skype number, US based number, is like, I don't know, what is it? What's it cost a month per Skype for a Skype number? It's like $5.99 or some shit, $4.99. Hell, they might even have some Black Friday deals going on. Hold on, I'll look it up for you. But it ain't going to cost you an
Can
arm
you
and
hear
a
me,
leg.
William?
I can. I'm answering questions on the
Sorry,
chat.
I was
Hang
talking.
tight.
That was me. You
Yep.
answered the questions.
I got you. Hang tight. Let me answer the questions, please. All right. Skype. That's where I was at. Skype. US number deals. Black Friday 2020. See what comes up. All right. Skype Black Friday deals 2020. That's not it. 50% off Skype coupons. There's a lot of coupon sites you can try, but looks like 50% off now, more at Skype with 48 coupons. Black Friday sales. You know what? Let's just go to Microsoft.com and see what they say about it. What do you think here? Software. They could be listener software, huh? That's weird. Skype did get bought out by Microsoft, right? I'm not crazy, right? Let me just go to Skype's website. Maybe that's what the problem is. Maybe they're still, yeah, the branding is different. Okay, let's see. Skype number, United States. I'm just doing this real quick just so I can see what they're saying here. I don't even know if they have any deals or not. Products. Show me the money, Microsoft. You guys made this complicated. I haven't navigated this in a while. Here we go. Redeem vouchers. So there is a voucher system for billing. So there's got to be some kind of coupons and whatnot. Skype call recording. I'm not seeing anything in terms of specials, but I know it's cheap per month. It's let's see. Skype number, find a local number. Just didn't tell me, did it? Let's continue. All right, it's $6.50, so it went up a little bit. $6.50 US. And if you pay on a 3-month or an annual, you save either 5% or 33%. So annually, it'd be $52. It's less than $60 for the entire year. That's not bad. That's not bad for what that is, and it is reliable, 100%. And it's not the cost of a SIM card. I mean, a SIM card plus minutes and shit would cost you that every month. What it would cost you on Skype for a year would cost you that almost that every month in the U.S. You're right for a SIM card, but you don't have to worry about that. So hopefully I saved you a ton of money. What do we got here? Trying to buy a Skype number from Jamaica, use a US area code. Skype number cost me less than 50 a year, very cheap. There you go. And that's got to be Adrian, right? It's got to be Adrian. But that's true. $50 a year, exactly what I just said and what I just saw on their website after logging in. Hi, William. In the sales script, is it better to put in a local number or a national number for prospects to call us back, since we're targeting different states and cities all across the USA? I like toll free, so an 800, 844, 855, whatever's available is best. But if you don't have, if you can't do that via Skype, or, for example, then use something that's in a major metro area and not rural, and pick a not just a major metro area, but for example, pick like Miami or Houston or Dallas, somewhere in Texas like that. I wouldn't necessarily go for just major metro area in Mississippi, even if I'm from Mississippi, right? I'm not. I'm from Alabama. My point is, I wouldn't get like living abroad. I always had a Miami number actually, and the reason I did that was because I didn't want the area code to, when people looked at it, to think, oh, here's another guy from Alabama. The hell does he want, right? They see my Miami number and they go, okay, I hear the accent, but he's got a Miami number. He must be in Miami, right? And I had a box in Miami too while I was abroad, lived abroad. So that was my strategy, and it worked well for me. I did well with that, and that's what I would recommend. Major metro area. It doesn't have to be Miami, but again, pretty good for you in Jamaica as an example. Well, I don't know if that was Adrian that was asking, probably not, but whoever that was asking, I would just pick a major metro area, preferably not in the Northeast, but also another good one would be Atlanta. Atlanta would be a good one. Yeah, just pick one that is not in the Northeast and is major metro area. Hell, even West Coast, that would make more sense. LA, Orange County, right? San Diego, Vegas. I'd probably stay away from Vegas. Matter of fact, a lot of call centers have given Vegas area codes a bad rap. So I probably would stay away from Vegas. It works for me because I'm able to convey very quickly that I'm not a telemarketer, and that makes more sense when you look at the script. But okay, next question. I've had Twilio for ages now, but not really sure what it is doing for me. They bill me every month for a few dollars. My prospecting calls are forwarded from 800 link. So where does Twilio in fact get used? For the client calls, for the back office, or is there something else it could be doing for me? Yeah, Twilio is the right now the sole integration point for Ring Ads. So anytime a call is generated from your clients or for your clients from your ads, it's using Twilio 100%. Every time you have a new number for a new campaign inside of Ring Ads, it's coming from Twilio. 800 link is for prospecting, right? And I know it's like, oh, you hate getting nickeled and dimed, and so do I. But at the end of the day, you got to have it, right? You got to have Twilio running, otherwise your calls aren't going to get connected, and you're not going to get paid for the calls. Got to have 800 link if you want the SIP technology to get 100% connections and reliable connections that everybody else running Ringo's voicemail and voice broadcasting don't get. Right? You're reaching the people that they don't get on a daily basis. So I know it can feel like nickel and diming. Instead, what I would do is shift your focus to knowing that what I just told you is a fact. Got to have them, what they serve, the purposes they serve, and getting some more clients. Because when you're making thousands a month, tens of thousands a month, and now that you know what you know, about Twilio and 800 Link and the fact that they're very much necessary for the level that you're playing at and beyond. It's really not going to matter to you at the end of the day when you're at that level. So focus on getting there. That's what I would do. Shift my focus to that. Make it a non-issue, right? What was it? Leo's character, Jordan Belfort, said, I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich, right? Skype USA numbers are $2.99 per month. See, yeah, I thought that. And the unlimited calling plan, I would go unlimited for sure, especially if you're forwarding calls in. And that was Julian that asked that. That's a good point. $6.50 per month, I would go unlimited. It's highly recommended. Why don't you let me explain? I already have a USA Skype number. It sucks big time here in the UK. I've tried twice to get on the call with you. Who is that that's asking that? I can't see who that is. I don't see a name. Hold on. Andy. Okay. Yeah, Andy, we're on the call. I just needed to go through the comments because they were coming in pretty fast here. So I'm not trying to not let you on the call. I will gladly help you on the call. You're going to have to calm the fuck down, though. I'll tell you that because I don't like how that was worded. You're going to really need to take a breath before you come on because never have I ever turned you away, ever, and never will I. So let's check that shit at the door. Whatever it is you're dealing with, I'm here for you, but we're not going to start out that way, okay? Adrian, is this the number you use for is this the number you use for clients to call you back on, or do you use it for outbound calls to the States? Okay, so you guys are talking about it together. Quessy, there's Quessy. Hey, I thought that was Quessy. I recognized that name. The US Skype number is what I use for clients to call me back on. Yeah, try buying a different area code US number. Yeah, see, Florida. I'm not saying everything Florida works, right? I know it's a kind of a joke about Florida man, all that, if you know that joke. But what I will say is Miami numbers, Fort Lauderdale, tend to work. They tend to work pretty well. So it may be a resource thing on computers for Skype because I know Skype is resource heavy. But as to why the call quality may not be great, but we'll figure it out. Looks like we're caught up on comments. Andy, are you still on the Zoom? Hello, Andy. Looks like you're muted. I think you're muted. I can wait. You're probably busy typing stuff out too, so.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Yeah, I've been trying to prospect for 2 days, mate, and the amount of problems I've had with the phones is insane. I cannot get a stable call. I've been on the phone to Sherry about 15 times, and I've been through 2 other voice over IP providers. The Skype number just doesn't work in the UK. It rings, the calls are awful. And I think it's where it's been routed through Dialer Central across the internet through to the UK, and Skype numbers are notoriously bad, and I've used them in the past. And every callback I've had from Dialer Central, I can't have a conversation. And I try phoning back out, and they're like, "You sound like a Dalek" or whatever. They don't use that term in America, but so I'm pulling my hair out trying to get it fixed, and I can't. Don't know what to do.
Well, the first thing I would say is you're going to have to approach it from a place that's different from where you're coming at. It's not working for you, right? I mean, the reason you're beating your head against the wall is not because you can't find a solution to it. It's because you're frustrated with it. And I know that because of what you've written, how you've written it, and even how you initially came on the call, right? And I'm not judging you. I just want you to know I hear that. I hear where you're at, and I'm going to help you with that. But we can't solve it from the place you're currently in mentally. Okay? Is that? Do you agree with me on that? Are we fair to say that?
Well, I don't know what you. I don't. I've had 2 days, and I've been through iPlum number. We tried Hush number, and I've had Skype, and I've tested the call. And when I phoned about 5 friends from the UK, but it always happens when I do it through the dialer central through to the Skype number, or the other number I've had. The calls just drop after a bit; they don't stay stable, and it's very
Okay.
hard to pick up the calls.
Couple
Very
things.
difficult.
Couple things, Andy. Couple things. First off, it's not Dialer Central. Dialer Central sends out ringless voicemail and voice broadcasting. They're not the ones
I didn't say it
connecting.
was.
You said Dialer Central. Okay. They're not the ones connecting the phone call. The service that you are meaning to say, and it's important that we get this right, okay, is 800 link. So you're having
Yeah, that's what I
challenges.
mean. But yeah.
Okay. Well, what you mean and what you say are two different things right now. I'm trying to correct that so that everybody else listening in doesn't get completely fucked, right? Or think that Dollar Central service is substandard because it's anything but. Okay?
I didn't say it was. It's not. It's
I
been brilliant.
know. I understand that. However, when you're not clear on your language, other people don't pick up on that, right? They hear what they hear. They don't hear what they need to hear, right? What they need to hear is Dollar Central works flawlessly. 800 link you currently have challenges with, right? So back to the Skype thing, right? What are you operating Skype off of?
My MacBook Pro.
Your MacBook Pro.
Hmm.
And you
With a
have,
Microsoft Teams headset, if it makes any difference to you. But I've also tried it with my Apple AirPods as well. And it doesn't make any difference.
have you tried speakerphone?
Yeah, but they can hardly hear me.
Okay. Have you had any successful call into your Skype number, your Skype US? It's a US Skype number, right?
Correct.
Have you had anyone call into that number with any success directly? Forget about 800 link for a minute. Has anyone called you direct to that number? Have you tested that?
I've been on the phone to Sherry. I've had loads of other calls on through the Skype, but when it goes through the 800, it doesn't work. And I phoned about 5 different friends from the Skype number in the UK, and the calls have all been pretty much fine. It's when they're coming back, and I have to pick the calls up, they suck.
Okay.
And I phoned back out a few times, and it also sucked. The customers hung up on me because they couldn't hear what I was saying. They were
Okay.
all saying I'm only hearing every second or third word.
Okay.
I haven't had a single full-length conversation that hasn't gone wrong.
I'm clear on that. I got you. Uh, what did Dollar Central staff say about 800 link and that service? Did they say that they would reach out to them and ask them or get settings
I've
or
already phoned them. They can't. I can't. I was hoping to pick up the calls on a dialer central. Sorry, 800 link. Sorry,
right?
800 link, but I can't. So I'm really at a loss. And the only thing I thought for a really robust, stable connection was a US SIM card, but the cost of doing that in the UK is going to be astronomical because it would be
I
for
understand.
using in the USA. And I
Right.
don't know how I can get around this. I really can't see a way at the minute.
Okay. Yeah, I got that, Andy. Jesus, your stress is starting to stress me the fuck out. You're gonna have to take a breath,
I'm not,
dude.
dude.
Take a
I'm
breath.
talking to you normally.
Yeah,
What
and
do you mean?
that's my listen to me. Listen to me, Andy. That's my point. This is normal for you. That's a problem. Not for me, for you. The frustration I have with you right now is not because you're frustrated more than it is what that's going to mean for you as you keep running. I told you this is going to happen. As you keep running into obstacles, you cannot continue to handle it in the fashion that you are if you expect to succeed in this business. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now you're upset. And I'll tell you
Do
straight
you know
out.
what? I'm gonna because I've been just talking to you normally, and now you're just sort of throwing it back on me. And I've had
I'm
2
not,
days where I
listen,
cannot receive a call, and now you're saying
okay,
I don't even know what you're getting at. To be honest with you, mate.
I got you, Andy.
I'm
Every
just
time we
asking
have,
you some help.
yeah, and I'm telling you, I'm going to give it.
Now you're pulling me out in front of everybody. It's like,
Is that what the problem is? Is it because we're on a public live stream? That's what bothers you?
listen, I don't know how else I can say where I'm at without you getting all funny about it, because I've just told you in very not shouty or bad language or anything at all that I can't receive the calls. And then
It's
you
not
keep telling
about
me I've got to
it's not
back
about
up and all
whether
this
you
kind of stuff.
it's not about whether you're shouting. It's listen, you're trying to solve a problem from a place where you're distressed. And distressed to the point where you can't think straight. Uh, how do we solve that problem? If every time I'm trying to ask you if
I
you've
can.
solved it, Andy, you're interrupting. Listen to what I'm asking you. How can we solve the problem together if every time I bring something up or ask you a question on have you tried this, have you tried that, to understand where you're even at in the process of solving this problem, and you just completely unload with negative energy? I can feel it, dude. And I'm not the only one. And the upset, the frustration that you feel from me is is not me putting anything back on you, right? I'm telling you, if you don't work on this, it's going to continue costing you. Just like I told you the last time this shit happened, the last time you pulled this shit. This it doesn't. I don't care who's listening. I'm going to tell everybody the same thing the same way, and sometimes it's going to be difficult for you to accept. Sometimes it's going to be difficult for you to understand, even initially. I'm okay with that as well. And I don't give a damn if you like me or not. I care about whether you're actually going to succeed at this or not. And I'm telling you right now, you trying to solve this problem from the state of mind you're in and worrying about stupid shit, right? Like the fact that we're on a live stream instead of actually being focused on the conversation that we're having and fixing the problem, and just continually over and over and over again saying the same shit of oh no no no, it's
I
not.
didn't talk like
It's
that. I didn't talk like that, William.
I guarantee you
I
you
didn't.
did.
I didn't. I did not talk like that. Anyway,
I
so
guarantee you did. It's on recording. And maybe that's why you don't like live stream, is because now you're going to have to go back and listen to that and go, Jesus Christ, I'm just running over him. I'm saying this over and over and over again. Like I don't understand exactly where you're at or know what the problem is that you're dealing with or the challenges that you're dealing with. I have solutions still that we haven't even begun to really scratch
can we talk
the
about
surface of
them
this
then? Can you
problem.
tell me the
Yes,
solutions?
yes, we can, Andy, but not in the state you're in. So you're either going to change your
Oh, well,
state
then
or we're
I
going to
might as well
talk
get off.
about it.
I'll get off the call then, because you just whatever I do, that's all you're going to say. So we'll leave it.
Andy, my goodness. Okay. Andy, you really, I know you're not on the live. Let me tell you something, Andy. And this goes for everybody. I really, at the end of the day, you're not gonna if you're not gonna work on what I need you to work on and answer the questions I need to answer to get your problems fixed, and do so in a way that comes from a place of not completely freaking out or getting completely upset and saying the same shit over and over again as if I don't understand the problem or where you're at, then we're not going to be able to solve the problem. And the thing is, the problem you're having, Andy, is super simple to solve, right? You have to reach out to not just Dollar Central, but reach out to Dollar Central and the owner of 800 Link, which is his name is going to be Scott. And you should be on a teleconference for that and testing. I'm guaranteeing you there's some settings or something that they have for you solutions wise or that you're missing right on your end that they can help you with to get your shit fixed. And that was why I was asking who you had spoken to, uh, who you hadn't spoken to yet, and I'm guaranteeing you haven't spoke to Scott. There's no way. There's no way you have. And I had to ask the questions I had to ask to get to that point, but you're still not going to solve this problem easily if you're not in the right mindset, if you're not in the right state of mind. And I'll tell you something, dude. You're I love you to death, but your mindset right now is so fucking toxic. It changes my state. Now I'm in a different state. That's how toxic it can be. And I'm not saying that means you are a toxic person. I'm saying you need to be aware of what it is that you're saying, how you're saying it, what you're doing, because you're thinking you're coming off one way and you're coming off a complete different. And point in fact, I'm going to go and review this recording after we're done here and triple check, because this is not the first time you and I have had a conversation that went something like this, right? This is probably the worst one because you left a call, which, by the way, unsportsmanlike, not very gentlemanly. You weren't being cussed out. You weren't being told anything that was negative. No need for you to leave the call. For you to retire like that is not good. That does not bode well for management leadership. things that you have to deal with in the future in the business. Not with me. Keep in mind, not with me, with your staff, with the business that you build. You've got a lot of learning to do on that. And I've told you that from day one, and it just seems like you fight that the whole way, right? The problem will get solved. The last time you had a fucking problem, it got solved. The last time you had a problem, you had this kind of mindset and refused to shake it, right? It's no different here. There really is no difference. The only difference is the problem is different. That's it. That's the only difference. So again, you got to understand. Hold on, let me grab some water. You got to understand, folks. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not saying I wouldn't be friends with you guys, or I'm not in some cases friends with some of you. I am. But I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to mentor you in this model, and also long term as a business owner or an agency owner, how to think and how to deal with shit, and do so in a way that doesn't negatively impact the others around you, especially if you have a staff. I mean, the last thing you want is your staff to be acting that way, right? Now, I'll tell you right now, Andy, with when it comes to coming on live, if you have reservations about that or problems with that, I'm okay with that, right? Well, what we're not going to do is have conversations go that way again, right? And then so what I'm going to say and suggest to you is that you and I have a private conversation at some point to get some shit straight, because if we don't, I don't know that you're going to go as far as you'd like to go in the business, and I don't want to be the I don't want to be the reason as to why that is, right? I'd much rather you, if you have to learn from somebody else, then learn from somebody else, right? At the end of the day, if that's what's going to get you across the goal line, then that's what we should do, right? I hate saying that, but at the same time, if it means your success, then that's ultimately what I care about. I'd rather you just work on your mindset, to be honest, and quit freaking out every time we have a problem, and understand that there are people that, not only just myself, but there are plenty of people and contacts that I have access to direct that will get your problem fixed. And for you, I would recommend right now reaching back out to Sherry. I'm going to talk to Dale. I'll call him as soon as this call's done, and see what can be done, right? And I know they've run into this problem before. I seem to remember it. It's just been so long since I've had to. It doesn't come up often, right? But it's been a while. But it did come up, and I remember there being some kind of a solution. So I'll dig myself, right? But at the same time, it's not my fucking business. You need to dig, right? And talk to Sherry or whoever picks up over at Dollar Central, and start asking them questions about 800 links, see if they can conference you in or get you some kind of a solution for call quality for calls in the UK. But I'll tell you right now, dude, you take that attitude that you brought into this call over there, good luck. Good luck. Like, you're going to struggle, okay? And I swear to you, man, I love Dale and I love his staff so much that if I hear a word that you have mistreated them in any way, shape, or form, you and I are going to have words, 100%, because I don't appreciate that, and I know they won't either. We're here to help and fix the problem, but if you're in a state like you are, it's not going to happen, right? Or if it happens, it's not going to be clean, and that's to me, that's important, because that means that you're able to see, okay, people have your back, and not only do they have your back, they fix the problems. So there's no need to freak out at all every time you have a problem. Sometimes that's challenging to understand. I get that. It's why I've been as lenient as I have with you on a lot of different things. This is, again, not the first time we've had this conversation, or a conversation like this, rather. But I'll tell you, we're at the end of having those kind of conversations, because they're not beneficial to you. And if it's not benefiting you and your business, then we shouldn't be doing it, right? 100%. That's where I'm at. Comments, and then let's see, we're a few minutes over, so we'll bounce. Calling British-based companies solving peace. Julian, Julian suggesting you call UK companies to get started, even with your calls. Let's fix the problem. Let's fix the problem. Not that the UK clientele is going to be a bad option or anything. It's just not as good as what the US is, right? Let's solve that problem first, and we'll figure it out from there. Cool. Let's do last call for questions. I didn't see anybody else asking any questions. I might have missed some stuff, just because we had a lot going on here the last 20 minutes. But, ask away, and I'll be here for a little bit. Let me grab some more water, and I'll be more than happy to answer anything you guys have going on. Any challenges you're dealing with on sales, anything like that, let me know. I think we're good. Okay, we need to do attendance. We didn't do that yet. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give everybody today, for the interest of time. I'm just gonna do that right now. I'm going through the attendance. Okay, everybody's good here. If you didn't want your email on the list, you can either send it to me in support, but I probably already got it. Like I said, most likely I do have that. Matter of fact, I know I have that on everybody inside of Ring Ads. I'll use the Ring Ads email for the email field for you, and the attendance is taken for the day. We'll just keep it simple for today. That's why I set stuff up like that in case we ran over or something like that. I don't want to be able to. I want to be able to get off here and respect your time, right? Because I know you set aside the time to do that, to be here. Okay, looks like last question here. What is that? It says, hey, William, do you have any tips on having more confidence in our ability to deliver the calls? Absolutely, I do. It's a great question. I'll answer it, and then we'll bounce. Who was it that asked that? Robert Cornack asked that. Okay, here's the deal, folks. When it comes to delivering the calls, I understand you need confidence in the offer, right? Christina and I talked about that. Confidence in the offer, not self-confidence. Confidence in the offer, get clients. Clients builds the self-confidence. So it feeds self-confidence, not the other way around. Seems counterintuitive, but here's the deal. You can do a number of different ways. You can set up what we call a flyant, which is a fake client. Means you're setting up a campaign, an ad campaign, and a Ring Ads campaign as well, that runs to a fake client. They don't know they're a client. There's no call whisper or anything, but it records the calls, and you're able to tell if you're able to drive good calls or not. I mean, one of the best ways to be able to tell if you can drive calls is to drive calls, right? Another way is through affiliate offers, right? Pay-per-call affiliate offers. Now, right now, there's a lot of stuff going on with the networks that I'm not really happy about. However, at the end of the day, an affiliate offer is an affiliate offer. There are some good ones, there are some bad ones. The idea is to find a good one over time, and it's not going to take forever, but a couple days per offer, you should be able to know exactly which offer is converting the best for you. And the whole point is actually not to make a ton of money from the offer. You can do that as you dial things in, but the point is to actually get your data from the analytics side of Google's ad platform, and with that data, you're able to do very well for your clients out of the gate. And that's another way to know. And plus, you'll have call recordings of all those calls, and you'll hear people asking for an HVAC professional or asking for a pest control professional or whatever it is that they're asking for the vertical you picked. And that will also obviously help you in the confidence in your offer, right? Your ability to deliver. And then if you stick to major metro areas to start, keep in mind to start, like 500,000 and up in population, Obviously, stay away from big cities initially, like New York, LA. You can branch into those, sure, but 500,000 and up. There's a list on Wikipedia of top U.S. cities by population. It's like 300 plus cities that are over 100,000 in population. Pick ones that are 500,000 and up, right? Just like I said, and that's going to make sure that you have enough volume to run your vertical, right? In almost every case. So uh, you pick in a big enough city, you driving phone calls from one or two different places, and then now you know that you have the call recordings. You can edit those and post those up on your agency website. You can use those in your emailing as attachments after you've edited out the sensitive information, right? And know that you can deliver the phone calls. Like those are the two main ways to do that. If you need that kind of reassurance, some people don't need that though, right? Some people, if you're listening to this and you don't need that kind of reassurance, you trust me, go for it. You'll be able to drive calls. I'm not going to let you down. You'll be able to drive phone calls. Um, if you follow what I teach, you'll be able to drive phone calls. That's probably the caveat there. Um, for those of you who would like to be 100% sure on it, then go the Flyent option, go the affiliate offer option, drive some phone calls, and then obviously leverage those assets that are created through those call recordings in your sales processes, right? Through the emailing attachments and also the agency website, putting them up there. Um, Nothing like being able to drive a phone call, a qualified call to a client or a potential client or a fake client, or to an affiliate offer, and knowing that you can do it. I get that. Uh, Very few things replace that feeling. So um, anyway, take that for what it's worth. It was a great question. Who was it that asked it? Robert asked that. It was a good question. Thanks, bud. Um, and hopefully that makes sense, right? Hopefully that makes sense. A fair amount of people start there with either a Flyent or a pay per call affiliate offer to get the confidence that they need. And then there's a fair amount of people that don't start there. They just take a leap of faith, right? And that I know what I'm talking about, right? Uh, Again, personality differences doesn't matter to me. Whatever it is you need to do to prove to yourself or convince yourself of the truth, which is you can do this, and if it means actually doing it first and then saying, okay, I see where I've done it. Now I know I can do it again, no problem. Or my belief in that you can do it if you just follow the training, then whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes for you to reach that point so that you're uh, confident in what you're selling, confident in the offer, not self-confidence, confidence in the offer when you get on the phone and do the selling, right? Get the sales done. Okay. Quessy's asking, looks like we got another question. I thought we were out of here, but that's okay. Uh, William, what will you say to prospects who are reluctant to do business with me because I'm based in the UK? I know it's a trust factor, but how do I address these concerns? Some prospects have in doing business with me because I am abroad. I've had a couple of prospects like that and couldn't close based on this. Um, if I'll tell you right now, if you're having challenges closing because you're abroad, you shouldn't be, right? You should use that as the reason why they should trust you, right? Because when's the last time, and maybe you didn't know this, but when's the last time they got a call from a telemarketer that wasn't in their country? And I'll tell you right now, it was India, right? Almost every time they get a call, every time we get a call, I say we in the US get a call from a telemarketer that's not in country or abroad, it's not from the UK, it's from India, right? And the fact that you're in the UK bodes well, not the opposite, right? And keep in mind, you're also telling them in your market research the same thing, which is you're expanding into insert vertical here, right? You deliver phone calls for a living. This is what you do. So there's what you're missing, Quessy, is certainty in what you're selling, the certainty in your offer. And because there's an uncertainty air about it, what you're saying or how you're saying it, more importantly, in the sales script, their trust factor comes down to they can use that as a stall tactic, right? That's the issue, right? That's what you're running into. How you deal with that is going to be providing certainty and telling them that's the reason they should do business with you, because when's the last time they had a business from the UK who's registered and has all the right documents, which you better, right? When's the last time they got a call from a company like that that knows their business, right? And can drive phone calls. And if you have to, run a couple campaigns, get some call recordings in, and share those with them on the phone call live. You're not there to waste their time. These are things you should be saying to them, right? You're not there to waste their time. You're there to deliver phone calls. Now, somebody in Houston or somebody in Atlanta or Chicago or Miami, whoever it is, wherever city it is you're calling in, is going to need these calls. I want to know if it's you. You seem like you're a good fit, and your only reservation is sending me money, which, by the way, is protected through Stripe, right? You have protections. Credit card protections are very strict, actually, for the consumer. What's the issue, right? Sounds like you just haven't formulated logically the case for why someone should do business with you, why it's a certainty more than anything, I think is the key. Certainty is going to be the key. But bringing up a lot of the points that I just brought up would be very valuable to someone who is on the fence. So I would highly suggest putting together a couple notes off of what I just gave you, getting real strong on that mentally, and start saying that stuff out loud, getting rid of your own uncertainty, and then follow up with those people who were on the fence and remind them of the things that I just told you, especially the credit card protections. It's a big deal. Okay. Fantastic info. Thank you so much, Wing. You're more than welcome, guys. Listen, again, love me, hate me. Andy, I still love you. Still love you, in case you're wondering, in case anybody else is. Still going to have you around. We just need to have a talk, get some shit straight, because whatever just went down keeps going down. It's not okay. You need to not be okay with it and be willing to do something about it, because there's nothing I can do about it except give you what I can give you, right? That's all I can do. Doing so from a really poor mindset, though, is not going to help you. And I'm here to teach you how to develop the mindset, not just fix your fucking problems all the time. Listen, I'll fix everybody's problems. I'm a fixer. I'm a problem solver. I love doing that. But if you don't ever get that mind right, you're going to be hurting. Not because I say so. It's not like I'm punishing you, dude. I'm trying to help you. It just, sometimes, man, you know, you get hurt trying to help somebody. That's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll get it right. Anyway, forget about the fact that, and I say this as an introvert, it's actually kind of difficult for me to say. Forget about the fact that we're live. It's one of the reasons why I don't look at the camera as often as I should be. Looking at the camera. It's because I'm live and I'm an introvert and I don't like that kind of stuff, and I don't like getting put on the spot any more than anybody else does. But I'll tell you right now, I'm never going to not be 100% transparent or authentic with who I am, what I represent, what I'm actually here to do. And I'll be damned if you get in my way of trying to help you. You get in my way of trying to help you, you're gonna feel it, right? And you may not like that. Okay, well, then how serious are you about me actually trying to help you then? Because at the end of the day, if you know where my heart's at, that's where your focus should be, right? Not on how it's making you feel on a personal level. Maybe that's just something you haven't got right with yet, right? Think about it in from those terms, and not, this isn't just directed toward Andy. This is for everybody listening in. If any of that stuff made you feel uncomfortable, sometimes shit gets uncomfortable, guys. It's the fucking business we're trying to build here, and not just build, but run and build at the same time. Shit happens. Shit happens. We deal with it. We deal with it from a not cool, calm, and collected place, but definitely not a place of just can't even think straight, saying the same shit over and over again. That's a problem. That's a problem that we have to fix. Because if we don't, with or without me around, you're gonna struggle much more than you need to, right? Your blood pressure is gonna go through the roof, and you're gonna have a heart attack over something that It's not worth having a heart attack over. You know what I mean? Um, so anyway, take that for what it's worth, and know that I'm here to help, even if that means doing the things that most people aren't comfortable doing or wanting to do. I'm going to do them, and I don't give a damn if we're live or not. It's going to happen because it needs to. Here we are, another hour and a half session on supposed to be an hour a day. Uh, totally okay with that. I just, as long as you guys and gals out there are understanding what's required, what's necessary. I'm not asking for your firstborn. I'm not asking for you to, do a blood sacrifice or some crazy shit like that. I'm not asking you for 10 hours a day, right? You want to put 10 hours a day in, by all means, right? I'm not asking you for that. You don't have to have that. But one thing you do have to have, 100%, is a commitment and a will to improve the mindset that you currently have, that you currently own. There's going to be some shit you need to leave at the door, and sometimes you're going to have to consciously do that every time. Leave it at the door, leave it at the door, and then there's going to be some times where you need to pick some stuff up and bring it in, and consciously remember that. And then eventually it gets to the point where you no longer bring in what you don't need to bring in, and you bring in everything that you need to bring in, right? So anyway, um, oh, Andy says it's better for me to get off the call at the end at that point, not change my state. Okay, sorry, it's not going good. I'll keep at it. Still love you too, mate. See, now, okay, and this is so crazy in a good way. This is what, number one, and I don't give a damn if we're going over an hour and a half. You guys are just going to have to fucking deal with it. Because that message, Andy, like I'm reading that, and nobody's in the waiting room. Okay. I'm reading that, and that's the Andy I know. That's Andy, right? That's the Andy, right? Now you be that dude right now, the dude that just sent that message. You be that dude, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, the differences between the guy that wrote that message and the guy that wrote the other message, you really need to go back. I'm serious. I'm not saying it's a you thing. I'm saying I noticed the difference, and I know I'm not the only one that does. And forget the fact that everybody else is watching, because it's not really everybody else, right? There are people on, sure, but that's not the point. The point is we all get better together. Everybody just learned from that interaction, and now they're about to learn how the language of what you just wrote in that last comment is Andy. And not only is it Andy, but it's the Andy everybody loves. Not that you have to be loved by everybody. I'm just saying this is the Andy everybody needs to know, right? That and you do show that pretty often when you're not running into a problem. And that's what I say my focus for you is I want you to see who is Andy when he's in the middle of dealing with shit, and who is Andy when he's not having to deal with, crazy stuff going on in the business, or could be any problem, could be personal, all that kind of stuff. And I know you got a lot going on, bro, in your personal life too. We've had some talks. I know that. I relate to a lot more than you might think, right? My mother's in renal failure, stage 3, end of stage 3, right? Shit ain't easy. I get it. And if there was anything I ever had to work at, it's the relationship with my mother on top of the health problems I just described. And I just tip of the iceberg on that, right? So I totally get where you're at, man, in a lot of ways, maybe more than you realize. Um, and also, maybe it's so easy for me to pick out your state based on just the things you write without even ever having heard how you said it. I know what you're thinking more. The more you write, the more I know what you're thinking and how you're thinking. The As soon as you come on a call and I hear your tone, I know exactly where you're at almost every time. Not because I know you that well, it's just because I have experience in doing that over and over and over again. Um, and I'm telling you right now, I'll always have, there's not going to be a problem you can come to me with that I won't have a solution for already, finely tuned and worked out for you. And this is for everybody. And if I don't, in very rare cases that I don't for this model, uh, I will find you something, by God, because that's my job. That's what I do. I take that very seriously. So I read that message and I understand. Um, See, maybe that's what it was that was coming through, Andy, on the call. You said you're pissed off, not because of me, but because you lost 2 days of prospecting time. Now won't be able to do it again until next week now. You know, it's all progress, bro. And don't worry about mom. I mean, I know you know how that feels. Like you said, we had that talk. Uh, I think it was in the mentorship or no. That was when I called you. I remember, right? I do call people from time to time, folks. Um, but don't worry about those 2 days. See, that's you staring. Remember, I was saying about staring at the rearview mirror too long. That's you looking at the rearview mirror too long. Yeah, it's 2 days, and yeah, it sucks. But at the same time, if you carry that with you, man, it's so hard to drive because you're looking back. You can't look forward to drive. It's going to be really hard for you if you don't let go of it. Just let go of that. Dig hard on the resources on your end. I'll do the same. We'll meet in the middle and we'll get you sorted. Okay? We will get you sorted. Um, Sam says he just joined the mentorship. Okay. I'll hold on. Let me just double check on that. Yeah, I see that that came through. Um, Sam, if you requested, which by the way, welcome. If you requested the to join the Ring Ads Mentorship Facebook group, there is a Facebook group that's private. Uh, you know, go ahead and request that. Look it up on the Facebook search bar. It is public in the search, but it's a private group. This is the free group we're in, by the way, the Ring Ads Pay Per Call group. That's free to join, um, and will always be free. Sessions like this always, yeah. Uh, but for those of you that join the mentorship, yeah, there's a private Facebook group for you. Be sure to request to join that. Who was it that said that shit? I missed that. Oh, oh, I got it. I'll get it. I got you on my data, man. You came through. I'll see it. Oh man. Okay. Uh, Sam, there it is. Jesus. Okay. Thanks, Sam, for commenting again. Now I see who it is. The comments. Facebook is so. I got to work on that with figure that out on the Facebook side. I'd like to be able to see all my comments all the time, even during a live stream. That would be very helpful. Back to the point of again. Welcome, Sam. Appreciate you. For Andy and everyone else that's kind of that has the challenges of the mindset, which everybody's challenges of the mindset are it's pretty much everybody, but different levels. Like I said, the invoice is different, right? The line items on that invoice that we have to pay price for is different. Um, what I need you to understand, and this is again directed to everybody, it's not an Andy thing. Um, there are there are things that are going to continue to be a pain in your ass. But we can't keep looking at them in the rearview mirror. We have progress, we fix them, we move on. And I'll tell you right now, Andy, you chomping at the bit right now from the last 2 days, having to wait till next week, could be one of the best things that has happened to you in the December Dash if you use it to your advantage. If you hear what I'm saying to you right now and use it to your advantage. Um, what happens when you put your hand over a water hose that's got water pressure, right? The pressure builds up. When you take your hand away, whew, it shoots out faster, further, right? That whole thing. Um, that's the equivalent of what your sales pipeline is doing right now, but only if you use it to build the pressure. And I don't mean build the pressure like if you're going to get angry, okay, anger is something that you can use. It is. Um, I don't want you to be angry on the phone, mind you, but you can use that anger to um, fuel determination to get not only the problem fixed, right? We're going to start with that, but then we can also use this time instead of being upset and not doing anything, we can shift our time into things like studying the script, getting super solid on that again, making sure we stay super solid on it if we are setting up any last minute things that we haven't got set up yet, uh, getting the emailing going, because remember, it's not just about Ringo's voicemail voice broadcasting. There are multiple ways to prospect for a client, right? And you're going to learn many more as time goes on as well. So my point is, there's always something you can be doing, right? That is considered progress that moves you closer to the end zone, to the goal that you want. Um, and Also that most every problem you're ever going to have can be solved, and the ones that can't be initially out of the gate uh, will be figured out, and that's extremely rare, extremely rare. In fact, the last time I had to solve a problem that was unique and wasn't already figured out for everybody else, I'd have to think. It wasn't this year. Was it 2019? Maybe early mid 2019. So it's been, a year and a half since the last time I had to solve a problem that wasn't within my wheelhouse already. And I'm not saying that to brag more than I am saying I've been there, done that. I'm with you. I got your back on top of all that. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. Oh shit, hold on. Did I miss something? Looks like you see the username they're posting via the Ring Ads page. Main page stream. Oh, the Ring Ads page. Gotcha. Thanks, Art. I'll give that a look see, and I'll do that right now while I'm live, so that way I can see if that's going to work or not. I tried that yesterday. I thought I did anyway. Maybe I wasn't doing it right. Actually, I'm not seeing. It says this video is live now. Let me just do a refresh. Any last comments? Any last questions? Happy to help. Otherwise, we'll tune in 11. Keep working hard. Keep doing what you're doing, right? We're going to run into problems from time to time. We got to fix them and move on, move forward, right? I do see some comments on the page, but keep in mind, I'm using Restream, so I'm streaming in like 6 different places right now at once, which means all the comments are in different places. I'm pulling in from Restream's chat app, and the way the API is for Facebook, actually, not judging or getting upset or anything about it, but the idea is it kind of sucks because I'm not able to respond within Restream's app to Facebook groups. To pages, I can send out links and shit like that. To YouTube, I can, but not to Facebook groups. For some reason, that's not built into their API or is no longer in their API, one of the two. And that's primarily what we use is the Facebook group and the live stream. So, but normally I live stream in just one place, so it's also not that big of a challenge. But we're figuring it out as we go. Like that's one of the things, right? Like I was just explaining to you guys that you need to do. I do that constantly. I deal with that constantly. Where oh shit, the chat's kind of messed up, and so I'll figure it out. I'll function through it, and so far so good. I mean, I'm still able to see the comments. I'm just not always able to address. Looks like some people are registered as being able to be seen. Like Art, for example, your name comes up, and I know when you write something, I see that it's Art. For other people, it doesn't come up. Right? Julian's name does come up. There's a few of you where, for some reason, one reason or another, probably privacy settings, I would think, your name shows up in the Restream chat. But for some of you, it doesn't, right? Some of you, it doesn't. Anyway, it's not a huge deal. It's just be aware that it's you work through problems. You figure it the fuck out. That's what I always used to say. I still say that. Figure it the fuck out. And I don't mean that you figure it out on your own. Actually, that means come to me. We'll figure it out together. But in most cases, I've already got it licked and can point you in the right direction and do so pretty quickly. So that said, I'm going to bounce off of here because I got a call to make. I got to go call Dale at Dollar Central up and see if he and Scott can get this sorted for Andy. And that's it. Yeah, I'll see you guys at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Let's bounce out of here. Oh, I see what you're saying now, Art. If you're posting via the stream in the group, I'll see Facebook user, but when you message via the page, I actually get your name. Got it. Got it. Okay, that's good to know. That helps. Thank you for that. Really appreciate your patience and understanding, William. Do you see my name, by the way? I do not. I do not, because apparently you're in the group after what Art just told me. So no, I don't see who that is that said that. But I can find out because I can go to the group like I'm doing right now. Mohammed. Oh, gotcha. Yes. Now I can see in the group. Cool. All right. So, and thank you for that. All right, folks, let's get back to work. Keep at it. Congratulations to Art again. 3 clients in. Don't look left though. Don't look right. Right? Don't constantly look in the rearview mirror either. Those rearview mirrors are there to make sure you don't run into shit, or that shit doesn't run into you. Right? Driving, you got to look straight ahead. If that's all you ever did, you'd be golden. Right? But I understand human nature is to look left, look right. Just don't stare and gawk. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That you're gonna run your ass off the road if you do that. So please don't do that. Instead, focus on driving straight ahead, and we'll be fine and get to where we're going. So, all right, I'll catch you folks tomorrow at 11 a.m. Work hard. I know I'm gonna, and we'll meet in the middle. No matter what, focus on your best. Focus on your progress. Remember, progress is the perfection that you are searching for. If you're Type A, progress is this. I'm going to go all Star Wars on you. Progress is the perfection you're looking for. Okay? All right. With that extremely geeky and nerdy reference, I'm going to be out. All right? I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, bye for now.
Cool. Cool. UFO. Back on my shit with a new advantage. I leave it up to you to settle the damage. Diamond, yeah, I know it's foreign to him. I came from the guts of rural Alabama. Steph Curry wrist, watch with the handle. Simple motors, gotta lead by example. Not too many make it out when they down. Never been about bailing off of my route. Rain gang, got the city HD. Hate to see my brother die every week. Numb to your vision. My life got me too fucked up. Disrespect a nigga, go dumb. Hello talking while you nursing that bitch and turn you to a scrub. I let prices from the plug. Adidas with the boots. Niggas out here slinging arbitrage, so the money really no excuse. Welcome to the realm.